Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah. I hope I can hear you properly today. I went out last night, four bands,
Uh-oh.
ears are ringing like motherfuckers. But anyway,
That'll do it.
how have you been?
It's good on my end, man. It's good on my end. My ears would be shot from that. If I went out like that, I'd be done. So I'm okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, other things going on in your life. How have you been?
It's good. Yeah. I just, last year, year and a half touring so much with KK's Priest. It's just been a lot of touring and a lot of good stuff. And now it's time to get out and do a little bit of on my time off. I'll go do some solo stuff.
Just on the priest, KK's priest thing. What's it like hooking up with him again and getting back in it that way?
Yeah, it's great. We've stayed in contact throughout the years anyways. And, when I used to go through, when I was touring solo and I'd go through uh around his area, he would always come out to the shows. He'd drive 2 hours and always come out to the shows and hang out. And but it's really great because the material's so good. I mean, this last
Hmm.
record we just put out, I just absolutely love it,
Yeah.
and um it's been great. The shows are really good. I'll tell you what's great about it is I think that the band's so good and the sound's so good and the shows are so good. When people watch it, when they watch the concerts, they're amazed, that they like to hear that songs played right for a change. So it's kind of nice.
Are you playing tracks that Priest don't do or never did or haven't done for a
We
long
did
time?
do. Yeah, we did Before the Dawn, which
Oh, no way.
yes, yes.
Oh,
Uh we do Before the Dawn and Priest never played that ever. Ken said he's 100% saying never played it live ever.
oh, such a
So
such a great song.
yeah, we did some changes the last earlier in the year. We did, Beyond Realms of Death and Victim of Changes, and
Yeah.
and this time we did Diamonds and Rust, the version that I did with the band, that version with the high notes at the end, Before the Dawn and Sinner. So
Yeah, right.
we did a little bit different, but uh I would like to. The problem is we kind of split it half and half. I'd like to
Mm.
be the biggest complaint we actually get is that we don't do more of my era. We do
Yeah.
one song, Burn in Hell. So that's actually what we get the most, is how come we're not doing
Yeah.
more of my.
Yeah.
But it's a hard thing. The problem is we're not an old established band. We get together, we learn these songs, we have the screens that go to it in the background. You just can't change your set list and learn new songs while you're on the road and
Yeah.
do it. It's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
other bands can, like a Judas Priest, they've been touring with that lineup for what, 12 years now. So they have all these songs that they can kind of rehash and just throw in
Yeah.
the set.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a good set list we have.
Yeah. So you're coming down here very soon. Again, I'm happy to say again. That's good. Thank
Again,
you. Um, I was just looking up at old photos I took. That's 2 years ago now. Where's that time gone? Seems like only
wow.
yesterday.
That's so yeah, so that was when I had Simon, was that when we
Yeah.
did the
Yeah.
the
Metal
metal,
Gods.
yeah. Yeah, because I came back again last year and played Sydney and Melbourne
Yeah.
solo with this band that I have right now because they're so good. They're
They are
so
good.
good that I said to Joel, and the shows last year, there's like my girlfriend lives in Katoomba in the Blue Mountains.
Oh,
So
right. Okay.
I come there a lot. So I said
Yeah.
last year, I said, I'm coming there. Let's do a couple shows. So we did them with a month and a half notice, and they were packed and just
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So this time I said, I'm coming back and let's do more. So
Yeah.
it's
With
great.
you coming back so soon, I was going to go for the joke and say, "Oh, did you leave something behind? You got to come back and get it." But you've got a
I
very valid
did.
excuse. Yeah.
Yeah, I did leave something behind, so I had to come get it. As a matter of fact, we've knew each other for years, Julie and I, but we first met face to face at that show with 2 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we met. We met. I was at in October. That was right, end of October.
It
That
was,
show
yes.
was, and we met in Sydney that night. Was the first time that we actually met. Uh, and then about 5 months later, 4 months later, I went and visited her, and that's in that's it. That's the start of the whole story. But um, it was a great. That was a great show. Where'd you see it at?
In Adelaide, the Bridgeway
Okay.
Hotel,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that was a little bit of a funny story because I took my old Titan album and EP for Simon to sign, and I was in the front row, and he's in between songs, and you're talking, and he's wiping his head with his towel, and he looks up and he sees this idiot at the front pulling up the Titan album like this, and he's like, "Oh no!" So he signed that for us, and I'd actually just spoken to Kev Riddles from Titan and Angel Witch like a month before. And I said that I was going to see Simon. Do you want me to tell him anything? And he goes, "Oh, fuck. Tell him he still owes me 10 quid, the bastard." Because when he left Titan to join a little band called AC/DC, he had to borrow train fare to get home. And and the running joke is that he still hasn't paid it back. So I told him, yeah, Kev Riddle said you owe him 10 quid. And he said, "Tell him to fuck off."
Yeah, I could hear Simon saying that.
So these shows coming up, what's happening? What sort of what can we expect?
Well, the last time I did it last year, it was great, and I did like one of my solo songs. This set's it's got KK's Priest, a couple KK's Priest songs in the set.
Hmm.
We're doing Beyond the Realms of Death this time. We're doing a Scream Machine from my Beyond Fear record. Uh, Iced Earth, When the Eagle Cries. It's got some classic Priest, a couple of Black Sabbath songs, so I give a nod to Ronnie Dio, a little Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell. The thing is, uh, it was great we changed the set list from last year because I was there about a month ago and I went and saw Joel and we had hung out with the family and had dinner, and I said, I'm going to make some changes to the set list. And he was like, I was hoping you'd say that. That's what he said,
Oh,
because he goes, those guys want to do it. I'll tell you what, you talk about a professional bunch. I mean, everybody knows Jordan and Joel, Frankie's house band, Frankie's Pizza, famous house band. Joel plays with everybody. I mean, these guys are great. But then Voya and Andrew, man, when I played with them last year, I thought, and they were so prepared. I said to Joel on the set list, it says guitar solo before, I think it was before Grinder, because I figured just noodle a little bit, have some fun. This is all of our show, everybody's showcase. They actually did an instrumental. It was like they learned this harmony guitar parts, and it was the coolest thing I've ever heard. And I'm like, and then Jordan's like a Muppet behind the drum kit. You'll see him. He's just like he's fantastic. The people are going to love it. And I have fun at my solo shows. I offend some people. I say some things, who knows what. I'm certain I'll call the people cunts. So that won't offend them. It wouldn't in America. But I love to have fun on stage at my solo shows. I don't drink much ever. Coffee, I drink a lot of coffee. But my solo shows, I'll take a beer up with me on stage, just kind of sip it and just have fun and smile and laugh and bring the metal.
yeah, awesome. What would you say would be your earliest influence? Would it be Priest? Would it be someone else where you heard first way back in the day and you thought, no, this is it. This is it for me? Is
Well,
there an album? Is there an album, one single album that you heard and you thought, oh, fuck, that's it?
but as music in general, I would say probably somebody like Dion and the Belmonts that did The Wanderer. The Wanderer. I'm
Mm,
the
yeah,
type of guy
yeah,
who,
yeah,
I know I have to always say that because they were big in America in the
yeah.
50s. But my dad had that record, and Elvis. Those two to me were like, I started singing it. But then my dad had Alice Cooper, Bachman Turner Overdrive,
Mm, mm,
taking care of business. I would
mm.
do that. Those were early ones. Aerosmith, Rolling Stones. That's my dad's music. Johnny Cash. My brother and I got Rock and Roll Over, Kiss Rock and Roll Over, and that
Yeah.
was the first time I started singing like that. And then I got REO Speedwagon High Fidelity, and my
Yeah.
brother got Judas Priest Screaming for Vengeance. And I listened to Electric Eye and I went, that
Yeah. Yeah.
is cool. But I did music. I started singing. I realized I could sing. I wanted to be a guitar player, but um, I never I never was gonna be a musician. Like when I got picked by Judas Priest, I had a regular job and I was never I didn't plan on being a musician. I just got a lucky break and now I'm a musician.
Yeah. That time when you did get the call, how did that happen? Did you get like the phone call or did you get a tap
Yeah,
on the
well,
shoulder?
I tell you, they got my parents' number. These girls, Joey Vito from New York, uh, her her and Christina, her friend, they would watch when my Judas Priest tribute band played, and I quit that band, and I had two more shows left with them, and then I was in a Seattle tribute band after that. But they videotaped the last show, and
Yeah.
then they Judas Priest called them because Scott Travis knew
Yeah.
knew him as well, and they got she called me because they
Yeah.
called her. Scott probably called her. She called me, got my parents' number, and I talked to her. She goes, "Hey, Judas Priest is trying to get a hold of you, a lady named Jane Andrews." And so she gave me a number, and then I called him.
Did you think someone was having you on? Oh, Judas
Yeah,
Priest is
yeah.
right.
Of course I
Yeah.
did. Of course I did.
Yeah.
I did, but I kind of didn't because it was Julie calling me, so I knew it was not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Uh, uh, I mean, she didn't even have my number. Like I said, she'd looked. My parents' number at that time was uh was it was listed. It became
Yeah.
unlisted after I made priest, but it was listed. So she had found that you could just call and get somebody's number. But then I looked up the name Jane Andrews and I saw it said coordinator, assistant manager, or coordinator or whatever on the album back then, and I was like, this is somebody. So, and
Mm.
then a couple days later, I was flown to England and auditioned.
Did you have to pinch yourself?
Absolutely, I had to pitch
Yeah.
myself walking in because I fly to England. I quit the band. Now I was in a Seattle tribute band for a whole year after that. So this was a year before that this video was made. I quit the
Yeah.
Judas
Right.
Priest tribute band because I was just singing bad, and I wasn't singing that great, so I quit. And but anyways, I fly there and I get out of the car. I go to England. I go to London, and then we drive to Wales. I get out in the studio and I hear music being played. And this was in the morning too, like or maybe noon or something. I don't know, but I'm not exactly sure. I hear music and I walk in and there's a big kitchen area. And there's Ian Hill sitting there eating breakfast or whatever at the kitchen table. And I'm just like, and then I walk in and I meet Glenn and Scott, which I already met. Scott and I met. He actually sat in with my Judas Priest tribute band in Norfolk, Virginia, and played a song once when he
Yeah.
was,
Right.
yeah. But then KK was still sleeping, and then he got up, and then went from there. Crazy. It was
Uh,
craziness.
Unreal.
But they treated me so good from the start. I mean, they were my only band. I said the sad thing about making Judas Priest was they were my idols and rock stars, my idols. Like when I was in high school, they were the only posters on my wall. That was it.
Mm.
There's no other band on my wall except Judas
Yeah.
Priest. And then I lost that. When I made the band, it's
Yeah.
great. We became family and friends, but I lost those idols that were like, fuck, it's Judas Priest. But they treated me so good.
Mm.
It was a friendship right from they made me feel like that right away.
Yeah. You did tour here in Australia in 2001 with
Yeah.
Judas Priest, and I was there front row. And there were numerous times where I it looked like you were on stage thinking, that's Judas Priest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on stage with Judas Priest. It really looked like that, and that was so good. I've told
Well,
anybody that will listen, I've been a Priest fan since you know, 1980. I've seen Judas Priest 5 times. Twice in the US in the 80s with Rob, with you here in Adelaide in 2001, and twice since with Rob. The best Judas Priest show I've seen was with you.
Ah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't know why, but
It's
it was so good.
well, I think there's even when I watch us now and I watch Judas Priest now, they sound great and it's fantastic and a big production. But
Mm.
we have this, there was an energy even when I was in Judas Priest, and it's the same with KK's Priest. I think it was this energy and you felt it, and vocally I tried to sing the songs like close to studio versions and stuff, but it was just a fun show.
Mm. Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will agree with you there. It was. So, what else is going on musically for you? I mean, you say you're coming out here in your time off.
yeah,
Um, what are you doing when it's not time off?
well, I got those shows, and then I come back and I'm home for about a week, and I fly to Central America to do 4 shows, and then probably South America after that solo. I do a lot of recording at home. That's what I'm doing now.
Hmm.
I record for people when when I'm off. I post on social media, rippervocals@gmail.com. People get a hold of me if they want me. I always say, listen, I'm off. I can guest on a song. I've done about 4 or 5 for Australian bands. Like I can guest sing on a song and whatever. So I do a lot of that when I'm off. I was so busy this past year with KK's Priest, but it's nice to do a little bit of solo stuff right now and get out, and I'm hopefully going to work on. I released 2 years ago. I released I think it was about 2 years ago. I released a solo EP, Ripper, called Return to Death Row, and so hopefully I'll work on a full length now. I'm hoping to be able to work on a full length Ripper record.
With KK's Priest, and we hear about KK's Steel Mill. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, it's a cool venue. I mean, even in this day and age where it's hard to get people to come out to concerts,
Mm.
um, it's a really great place. He got some friends and they wanted to open it, and nothing better than to put KK's name on it and get a business partner like KK to be part of it. And it's a great venue. It's an old factory. I think they used to make engines and stuff. I think it's what they did back
Mm.
at this place. But really cool place. Really cool place. We rehearse there. It's a great place because it's pretty big, holds a couple thousand people, and we get to rehearse there, so it's nice.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. Um, Festival appearances with KK, what are they like? What sort of festivals have you been playing? What sort of time are you going on? You getting the um,
Good slots.
primo evening slots
Yeah,
or?
yeah. Headlining slots, or anywhere from third down to headlining slots.
Yeah.
It's kind of been. I think we went on before the headliner at Vakken. But we don't mind. We like to go on a good time. So if something's too late, there was one we headlined and it was just too late. It was like
Yeah.
everybody was
Yeah.
there. It was a Sunday. It was 11 o'clock at night, and we're headlining this thing, and it's like, well, that's not everybody's tired and gonna be leaving. Um, yeah, anywhere from 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock on is a good spot to be on,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
people can go check out. We did one we filled in at Bloodstock, and it was a live feed, and people thought I was lip syncing because it was such a good show. And there's a lot of great festival footage of us out there.
Yeah. Excellent. What else did you want to touch on, Ripper? Fuck, we've had a good broad chat. It's been really good.
Well, spread the word on this. I mean, we would like to get
Mm.
KK's Priest to
Oh.
Australia. We almost did. And we
Mm.
tried, but the expense was so much that we
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
We are a long
And
way away.
he's still working on it. That's the advantage of being a vocalist and coming and playing solo and having your band there. I
Yeah.
tour all I tour all over the world, because I have bands all over the world. But I keep telling people this is a big test, because if KK says, look at how great the crowds were,
Yeah,
these places were sold out and packed. Well, then, but if I don't do good, then Ken's gonna be like, well, hell, we're not going. What are you talking about? But I
yeah,
keep telling people this is where you can prove. Let's get KK's priest there, but it's expensive. So I know Ken wants to get to Australia really bad. So hopefully we do.
yeah. When this was announced, this is through Hardline, Doug will tease. He'll put something online in a different font,
Yeah,
tour announcement coming. And as soon as I saw this tease announcement, if you like, I thought, oh fuck, KK Priest coming here. But it turned out to be you, which is awesome. But
yeah.
a few of us did
Listen,
think it was going to be KK.
I think, yeah, I would have too. And I know Doug was one of the ones working on that. I
Yeah,
think Doug was working on trying to get KK's priest there. We were trying to work on doing Australia and Japan, and I think, I don't know, it just didn't work out. It's all with finances, really. Because
yeah,
listen,
yeah.
Ken's not going there and losing money.
No,
He's,
no.
or just breaking even or whatever. Or taking a chance of losing money. So that, I think that's the difference with him. It's like he'd rather listen. He's been doing his whole life. He'd rather
Hmm.
not do anything. Maybe hope. Maybe work on a new record or something. But we'll get there. I think we'll get there. Uh, my girlfriend will be pretty upset if we don't.
Yeah, yeah. Good on her. Good on her. Can I get you to do one thing for me for the video
Yes.
screenshot? Please give us the horns.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you so much for having a chat to us. We'll see you
Yes.
very soon. Can't wait. Bring it on.
We'll see you soon. All right, buddy. We'll see you.
Thanks, man. Take
All
care.
right.